Welcome, my dear friends. We are Semaine. We send you the light of the Pleiades, that star system holding aspects of Christ consciousness for your planet, your solar system, and your species. May you fill up with this light so that you can radiate it outward unto all who may receive it. Good. Now, we have discussed that there are higher energies coming from the center of the galaxy as well as outside of your galaxy. What do we mean by these energies that are coming from these places, and what is behind that transmission? Well, in order to understand a bit more, it is important to explain that everything in the universe is alive. Everything has a spirit energy supporting it. Even those aspects that you might not recognize as being a living being. So, for instance, you have heard us reference the mineral kingdom, along with the plant and animal kingdoms. Well, it is a viable kingdom on its own, and that kingdom has spirit energy behind it that supports it. And what you see as various minerals are the physical incarnation of that spirit energy on the earth plane. And so, again, everything in the universe is alive. Even if it has the most, what you would call, basic consciousness, it is living, a living being, and a part of the great gestalt of interplay of energy. The earth itself is a living being, which hosts other living beings upon its surface and underneath it. The more that you can understand this, the easier it is to understand how these energies are being transmitted from distant parts of the galaxy. The earth itself has a spirit. One could say that this spirit resides in the center of the planet, and that would not be inaccurate, although it does not reside, obviously, on the physical level. The body of the earth is that physical expression, but on the etheric, emotional, mental, astral, and causal levels, as well as others, that spirit does exist, just as you have yourselves layers of the aura. The earth itself has those same layers that are related to its spirit. Through its spirit, the earth transmits energy to all life upon it. You may have heard us reference prana energy. This is one of the main energies that is transmitted to the life forms upon the planet. One might consider it a basic nourishing energy. Now, of course, there are other energies that are transmitted as well, but this prana is probably the most familiar to you. Well, just as Earth has a spirit, so does each of the planets within your solar system, as well as your sun. The sun itself has a great spirit connected to it. And of course, a main energy that it transmits, again, is prana, although of a different type. Solar prana and earth-based prana, though interrelated, are different aspects of that type of energy. And so they complement each other, certainly. For you are both sun beings, light beings, and earth beings. And that is inclusive of all life upon planet Earth. Now, there are other aspects of prana that go beyond just the physical plane. Some of the prana energy affects other levels of being. And because in your solar system there are different levels of existence, meaning dimensional levels of existence, although some of the planets in your solar system may not seem to be inhabited on a physical level, on higher vibrational levels, they are inhabited with beings. And that is their reality. You have possibly heard that the ascension process will allow all on the earth to ascend to the fourth dimension and or fifth dimension. Well, on many of the planets within your system, those dimensions are fully inhabited by beings who exist and live on those dimensional levels. And so the prana that comes from the sun is meant to enhance all of those levels. Now, there is quite an interplay between the planets themselves. And although you may not be aware of it, this constant interplay of energies has a very strong effect. So, for instance, your planet, in its rotation around the sun, is nearest in terms of outlay to the planets Venus and Mars. They are subsequent to each other in terms of where they are in their placement from your sun. And because of this proximity in placement, these planets affect each other more than, say, your planet is affected by the outer planets. Now, we realize, of course, that Venus travels around the sun at a more rapid rate than your planet, and that there are times when they are not physically close. But what we are speaking of is more of a vibrational level due to the placement in the rotation around the sun. And so Venus is second, the Earth is third, and Mars, of course, is considered fourth. There is a certain closeness between your planet and the planet Venus on a vibrational level. And we will tell you that the planet Venus itself is undergoing a very intense initiation at this time. More intense than that your planet is currently going through. And because of this proximity, in terms of rotation upon, or around rather, the sun, these two planets are affecting each other greatly right now. And so not only are you receiving energy from the center of the galaxy and beyond, but you are receiving energy from other planets and the sun within your own solar system. And right now are particularly being affected by the planet Venus. The initiation that the earth is taking is that of Christ consciousness. The initiation that the planet Venus is taking right now is a higher octave, which we call God consciousness, as you have probably heard us reference in many of our greetings by now. The Christ consciousness energies outside of your solar system that are affecting the planet the most right now are coming from the constellation of the Pleiades. The God consciousness energies that are affecting your solar system now are coming from Sirius, the binary star. Again, as with your sun and planets, all of the planets and the suns within your solar system have spirits connected to them. Very powerful, high vibrational spirit energy. And they too have interplay with each other, both within their solar systems and outside of them. Some planets are more closely related to other star systems, depending upon certain vibrational qualities of the spirits that inhabit them. And so within your solar system, the planet Uranus is vibrating at this point the most and resonating the most with the Sirius binary star system. And thus it is heralding in that God consciousness energy, which is now being initiated by the planet Venus. Your planet has a special relationship with the Pleiades, the details of which we won't go into now, but many of you may already be familiar with that. And there are beings in that star system who have quite an interest in your own species and have been, in part, guiding and assisting your species for some time. And so that is part of that special relationship. But also the spirit of your planet has much resonance with several of the suns within that star system. And this special relationship allows for this Christ consciousness energy to now manifest more fully on the planet that you exist on now. And so, as we said, all of the stars and planets within the universe have this spirit energy behind them. There are some very ancient spirits that inhabit several star systems within the center of your galaxy. You might call them ancient ones who have been guiding and working with the other suns and planets within the galaxy. And it is through them and from them that many of these ascension energies are being transmitted. You are literally receiving high energies from these ancient ones. It is like turning on a program. Think of this program as laying dormant. much as certain hormones and other processes within the body of a child become activated with chemical processes that initiates adolescence and the growing of the body and maturing of it. These energies, similarly, on a spiritual level, are activating these dormant programs within you, your planet, and all of the species that live upon it, which will activate higher spiritual growth and maturity. This is a much needed maturity right now, for you all are living upon a planet that is received or achieved technical advances that have begun to outstrip your species' emotional, psychological, and spiritual maturity. And so there needs to be a balance there. For the more power that you gain on a technological level, the more responsibility you must have to wield that power justly and to not abuse it. So this is one of many aspects that are governing this ascension process right now. Again, we have spoken of the energies coming from beyond the galaxy. And these are even more ancient entity structures that would seem quite unfathomable to you. Very ancient indeed. There are physical aspects to these ancient ones, but mostly they reside in spirit. And the physical attributes are only there in order to facilitate transmission throughout the universe. These ancient ones are guiding those older ones within your galaxy. And again, this is a shift in the programming to assist you in achieving spiritual maturity or a level of it. Let us say the next level of spiritual maturity that your planet and your species is ready to receive. And so hopefully we've assisted you in understanding a bit about these transmissions. We will be discussing more over time, but we feel that this should help you understand a bit more about what is going on and how it is operating right now. And so, my friends, we wish you well and leave you with these words and our light and love and that Christ consciousness energy from the Pleiades. May you fill up with this light so that you can radiate it outward and to all who may receive it. Good day for now, my loving friends.